start with the Greenwood Genetics Center, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary, and with us is Dr. Steve Skipper.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today, and a great pleasure to be celebrating our 40th year anniversary with you, especially. For those that may not be familiar with us, we are a not-for-profit genetic institute in Greenwood, South Carolina. One of the few, if maybe not the only in the world, that's not-for-profit and not part of a medical school or a major university. We provide services for the whole state of South Carolina, clinical genetic services, so we see patients that have genetic conditions, intellectual disability, birth defects, autism. We also provide diagnostic testing services, not only for our physicians, but for physicians throughout the state and also throughout the country and even around the world, in molecular genetics, biochemical genetics, and cytogenetics. We also have a very strong commitment to education, making sure that we are providing genetic education for the future scientists with educational outreach to middle school, high school students, as well as high school teachers. We also have a commitment to education that ranges to undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate training opportunities at our center as well. And then we also have an internationally recognized research facility that's working on trying to identify genes that cause intellectual disability, birth defects, and autism, as well as trying to find clues that might lead to treatments. Treatment is kind of our new vision. We feel like genetics has been giving a lot of hope and promise that once we understand the cause of disabilities and other genetic conditions, we might be able to move on to treatment. And we've committed that we're going to be a leader in that, and that South Carolina is going to be a place where treatment for genetic disorders is being developed. We've been very fortunate throughout our 40-year history to have a strong collaboration and partnership with the South Carolina Department of Disabilities and Special Needs and with the Self Family Foundation that's made it possible for us to grow and develop. And even though we're located in Greenwood, we have now offices in Greenville, Columbia, Charleston, and Florence, South Carolina. So we do serve the whole state and represent all regions of the state, not just 10 at the top. We now have over 170 employees with 13 MD clinical geneticists and about 22 PhD geneticists at our center. We're very excited with some recent partnerships that continue to grow with Clemson University, with Self Regional Healthcare, and are working very closely with Upstate Alliance, Partnership Alliance in Greenwood, with County of Greenwood and the City of Greenwood to develop Clemson University's Center for Human Genetics in Greenwood and a biotech research park on our campus, 170-acre park. And no disrespect to our next speaker, but our vision, our goal is that the research park surrounding the Center for Human Genetics in Greenwood will surpass CU-ICAR in economic impact and an impact on the citizens of this state and around the world as far as being a leader in human genetics, both from a delivery standpoint, but from a research standpoint, but from a implementation of new treatments for genetic disorders. So hopefully we'll come back at our 50-year anniversary and tell you our success of how we did on that. Thank you for recognizing us, and we're very pleased to be here with you today. Thank you.
The other organization we're going to hear from is BMW, and hopefully you saw the BMW vehicles that are out front, some of their historical ones, and maybe Scott can talk a little bit about that. BMW has a 20-year history in the upstate, but it really has been a remarkable 20 years, the impact that they've had on this region in many, many ways. And so it's my pleasure to bring up Sky Foster to talk a little bit about the successes and the importance of BMW.
I feel like BMW, well, I'm Sky Foster, Department Manager, Corporate Community Relations. And as I looked at the lineup in the brochure, I feel like we're babies compared to other companies in the region. So we can learn a lot from everything that everyone presents. So thank you, Dr. Skinner, for talking about the Genetic Center and all the wonderful things that you're doing. And hopefully 20 years later, we can also complement your successes. So thank you for having us. Okay, the BMW story. How did we get here and what have we been up to? The BMW story in South Carolina has been an integral part of the upstate's success since we first announced the decision to come here in 1992. Since those early days, I've seen a great deal of growth and I've seen a great deal of change. This year, we celebrated 20 years and we are producing cars in the United States over and over and over again, and we're very proud of that. It's a great accomplishment to celebrate with our associates as well as our community partners. This gives us an opportunity to look back over our first 20 years and reflect on so many achievements, and many of them we've actually celebrated with you, our community partners, and for that we thank you. I thought it would be appropriate to give you a quick look back. So we're going to take 20 years and show it to you in exactly 60 seconds. So you have to pay attention because you'll miss it. Okay? So 20 years in 20 seconds. Take a look. See, it's already gone. To see all the movement that we've had over the last 20 years, and I've been there a little over 20 years myself. I've been a part of each of those moments, and no two moments have ever been alike. It's been really exciting, so we are looking forward to our next 20. One of the questions that we get asked quite a bit is, why did BMW select South Carolina? Our story really begins right there in that question, because more than 20 years later, I find that the same reasons we had then for our site selection have positioned us well for our future plans. Let's take a look at that. First, the infrastructure. The available land, the close proximity to key transportation facilities, and the Port of Charleston were crucial to sustain our operations both internally and for the long term. This infrastructure ensured the plant as a global entity right from the very beginning. Additionally, South Carolina offered BMW a qualified workforce with deep roots in manufacturing. So our people were equipped already. Although the workforce had never produced cars, the statewide technical school system ensured that the workers would be trained and would be able to help us to create the ultimate driving machine. The technical school system also guaranteed that the workforce would remain qualified. The benefits of this strong educational partnership has paid dividends. As we have launched various recruitment programs in the last several years, we have leaned heavily on the technical colleges to help qualify future candidates for careers in automotive manufacturing. And finally, South Carolina's pro-business attitude has helped us to facilitate extensive, mutually positive relationships between the community, the company, and the state. I alluded a moment ago to the infrastructure infrastructure throughout the state as being one of the factors at BMW's decision to locate in South Carolina. Looking back, this aspect of the decision has become quite a dynamic factor for BMW. 70% of the vehicles we make are exported to over 140 countries. The importance of the rail system, the close proximity to airports, and the deep water ports have become even more important than BMW originally thought. Today, we benefit greatly from the addition of the new South Carolina inland port. About 250 containers transporting engines and transmissions from Germany and Austria are brought in through Charleston and then sent to the upstate via rail. This supports a more efficient supply chain and logistics operation and saves on carbon emissions by eliminating more than 25,000 trucks annually on Interstate 26. Speaking of success, the state of South Carolina has experienced a great deal of international success. The amount of direct foreign investment, over $45 billion, accounted for nearly 115,000 jobs, is quite an accomplishment. We should all be very proud to live in a state that is recruiting such high-quality companies from diverse industries to its borders. BMW benefits from the state's ability to attract new businesses. While we have about 270 Tier 1 suppliers in North America, nearly 40 of them are located in South Carolina, and nearly 24 of them are located right here in the upstate. So I think we can all agree that BMW's decision to locate in South Carolina has been transformative to both BMW as well as the state. But how has BMW actually changed over the years? In 1994, we had 500 people working here. Today, we have more than 8,000 jobs on site. Each day, we produce over 1,100 vehicles for our customers around the world. We began producing the 318i in 1994, and in 1995, the Z3 Roadster followed. The international media reported that we located here to serve the U.S. market, but we quickly showed them otherwise. Today, we make all the X models for the world. Anywhere you see the X3, X4, X5, or X6 in the world, it was made right here in South Carolina in a world-class manufacturing plant. As I mentioned earlier, we export 7% of what we manufacture to over 140 markets, based on the annual value of $7.5 billion. BMW is the largest U.S. automotive exporter to the world. We are a leader in the sustainability arena as well. About 50% of the total energy that's needed to run this 5.6 million square foot campus comes from methane gas, which is extracted from a landfill about 10 miles north of the plant. We utilize what would otherwise be wasted resources and use it to save millions each year in energy costs. We operate more than 350 pieces of material handling equipment powered by high-efficient, zero-emission hydrogen fuel cells. The Zentrum Museum, and many of you have seen that building, is powered by solar energy harnessed from about 400 solar panels that's located in front of the building. More than just environmental initiatives, we believe that sustainability is also seen through our company's commitment to economic and social initiatives as well. Since 1992, the BMW Group has invested $6.3 billion in this plant. Now, in response to the continued worldwide growth in demand for BMW X models, our plant is gearing up once again for the most ambitious expansion in its history. We announced earlier this year that we would invest another $1 billion from now through 2016. This will allow the plant to expand its annual production capacity by 50%, from approximately 300,000 units today to 450,000 units by 2016. That's a lot of cars. The steady expansion in production has been accompanied by a growth in our workforce numbers. By 2016, we also plan to add another 800 new jobs at the site, bringing the total number of people employed at the plant to approximately 8,800. The importance of BMW Group to the economy of South Carolina was highlighted in a recent study carried out by the Moore School of Business at the University of South Carolina. The study reports that this plant has a $16.5 billion annual impact on the economy of South Carolina. The presence of BMW in South Carolina also supports more than 30,000 jobs throughout the state. Finally, the study found that every job created at the BMW plant, an additional 3 jobs were created elsewhere in South Carolina through the economic multiplier effect. The final piece of our sustainable growth is clearly our social imprint. Since 1996, BMW has contributed more than $35 million to educational, cultural, civic programs in the region. In addition, we sponsor an annual charitable golf tournament, the BMW Charity Pro-Am, that has generated more than $10 million for some 150 deserving charities. And we hope that you all will participate with us next year. It's a program that's run by Max Metcalf, and I'm giving them a shout out right now. Okay, thank you. I think we can all share in our success. Our workforce, our suppliers, the community, all have played a significant role in shaping BMW's profound impact in the upstate of South Carolina and the region. In closing, while you can't be at the plant and you can't see all that we do there, we thought it would be a nice idea to bring the plant to you. So as you look at the next video, I'd like to say, take a look inside at how we do what we do. And thank you very much, and enjoy your day.